So my mom was in town this weekend, and we had a great time celebrating my daughter's birthday, 14th birthday, big old party. It was a great time, and we experienced some amazing rains, not just this weekend, but also over the last few weeks. We've seen a better, I call it monsoon season, than we'd seen in a while. I mean, at least since last year, right? But it made me think about the different things that we had to worry about and think about when it comes to monsoons and what that does here in the valley to your house, to your rental, or when you're preparing for a party. So I want to bring up 4 things that I thought were really important and things you might not think about. But when we're getting these monsoons, when we're getting these torrential downpours, boom, all at once, water hits, dust comes in. I mean, and if the haboob, the dust is coming in at the same time that the rain is happening, it just makes everything filthy, right? It's like muddy cars, muddy everything, right? So it's super interesting. So first thing to think about is the roof issues, especially with the season that we've had so far. It's been super dry, right, up until now. And with that dryness comes roofs that have been sitting dry for a very long time. You don't know that there's a potential roof leak until it rains like it does over these last couple of weeks. And again, when the rain comes down during these crazy monsoons, I mean, it's so much rain all at once that you're going to find out where water's running when it comes to your lot. If your gutters are dirty, you're going to find that out really quick as well, because you'll start seeing overflowing in that section. So it's definitely something to prepare for. And again, with the roofing, making sure that we get a roofer up there regularly, at least once every couple of years, to make sure that cracked roof tiles are good to go and that dried out underlayment is regularly checked. Number 2, pests. All right, so the pests that I'm talking about, first and foremost, when it gets wet out there, you start seeing more termite tubes, right? It makes them more active, and they start getting really active. So you start, all of a sudden, you see a termite tube that you haven't seen ever in your house. Sometimes they'll start in like the garage, the lowest point of entry, and oh my gosh, now these subterranean termites are needing to be treated. Is it that big of a deal here in Arizona? From my experience and sitting in the real estate space for 20 years now, no, not unless you live in the historic areas where we've got like those wood beetles or the dry wood termites, right? Those are different. The subterranean that we're treating, it's easy for them to be treated. They live underneath the soil. They come up and they basically eat through your house during the day or whatever. I don't know what time they're eating. But you get somebody out there, they service it regularly, and you're pretty much good to go. So not such a big deal. The other pest, we've got scorpions. All right, so these scorpions, legit, you don't see scorpions all year, and then all of a sudden it starts raining, and scorpions start popping up outside your house, inside your house. You start seeing them everywhere, and that's just something that is very, very, very common, unfortunately, out here in Arizona. I guess with pests, you treat the pests, you treat their food sources, and the scorpions tend to fade away. This year, personally, we've seen more scorpions at my house than we've seen ever. So that might have to do with the rain. It might just have to do with something else. Number 3, tree prep and yard debris. Yeah, I mean, the tree stuff, if we've got palm trees that have needed to be trimmed for a minute, those palm fronds are everywhere after a crazy storm that has been, coming through. You see this stuff regularly with the trees. Now there's debris everywhere. There's fallen branches. There's stuff cracked. So it's like it could be twice a week that you have to have somebody back out to the house, especially in showing season, to make sure that the houses look good. So something to think about, especially when budgeting and thinking about listing or, getting your house sold or rented in this market right now. The 4th thing, again, I'm going to just bring up is pools. And pools, the thing to think about is, first off, the stuff that's dropping into the pool from leaves and debris changes the pH of the water and makes it just gross, can turn them into a cesspool so fast, right? And that means that we've got to have pool people that are able to get that stuff done. Me personally, we had so much stuff that ended up caking on the bottom of the pool over just a couple of days that the pool filters also had to be completely cleaned. When we pulled those things out, it was like just a layer of like gunk on there. Those things didn't need to be replaced right away. But again, because of this crazy storm with just dust and debris and everything blowing in there, it adds just an extra layer of cost and time that needs to be spent on these pools. Thank goodness I was able to get that pool cleaned up before the party this weekend. Otherwise, again, we had 2 storms here in the last 2 weeks, and both of those storms were just crazy, ripping branches down and blowing dust and debris everywhere. And realistically, you don't think they're going to be as bad as they are, but when you're done with it, it's like, gosh, that pool can turn like that. Give it a couple of days in this heat, and even with the pool pump running, if it's not running optimally, it can start getting a little funky really, really, really quick. Well, cool. I hope this information is helpful. This has been an interesting last couple of weeks. The market is still just in a weird flux right now. The numbers show that we should be leaning more towards a seller's market in most of the area, in most of the general Phoenix metropolitan area. But honestly, like when it comes to people that we're talking to, it's like there seems to be more demand. However, we're not seeing a ton of increased demand. Also on the rentals, we're not seeing a ton of increased demand. And this is across the board. Like when we're talking to other companies and other people that are doing this same type of thing, we're seeing it across the board right now. So it's definitely an interesting thing to be considering. But hey, if you have any other questions, feel free to reach out. I appreciate you watching. And again, I hope this is helpful. See ya.